Guys, look what I have. If you have been on my channel before, you might have seen me complaining about my crappy printer, but I got myself a present, the HP Envy Photo 6255. This is like their second least expensive. So their first one is like $69.99. This one is $89.99. I got it because the photo resolution's a little better. I am holding my camera because this won't fit on my filming setup here. You can see all my Diet Cokes in the background. But I'm going to unpack this. I'm going to show you me setting it up, some other things I got with it, and then I'm going to print. I printed these on my current printer, and like it doesn't look great. Like the quality's not great. So I'm going to print these same things on my beautiful new printer, and then I'm going to show you the comparison and then just talk a little bit about this printer and how well it works with sticker paper. So let me unpack this and I will be just right back. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so you guys are set up on my tripod and I pushed it up as much as I can, but with the setup I have just for like filming planner videos, there's no way you'll be able to see this whole thing. So let me talk about everything that I have here. First of all, we have just the power cord. It came with 2 things of ink. You only have 2 cartridges, so one for color and one for black ink. My printer right now, you have 5 lots of cartridges, so I'm glad I'm down to 2. I'll talk about instant ink in a second. I'm really excited about it, but let me show you what comes in the bag. This is just the bag that was in the box. It was packed really well. It came with some photo paper. I obviously need like full page of paper and also like stickers, so maybe I'll try this out. We'll see. Information about the ink cartridge, information about instant ink, which I'll talk about, and then just the booklet on how to set it up and all the information. I'll set this aside. So let's talk about instant ink for a second. And you can read a little bit about it here. And I'm sorry you can like see my hands and my feet. You're at the edge of my table right now. Save 50% on ink, 3-month trial, whatever. So let's talk about instant ink, and I went with the $4.99 plan for up to 100 pages per month. So basically, I get to print 100 pages with this printer for $5 a month, and I don't know how much ink that would be, but that's what it's taking into account. I would just pay $5 a month, and I get 100 pages of ink. I really don't know what it is. I'm going to try it out for a few months, see if I like it. But I think that if you're printing just black and white, it's probably about even. But like since I'm doing full color printing, I think it's going to be an amazing, amazingly good deal. So $5 a month is what I will be charged. I need to still set this all up and buy 1 month of service with this card and get the 2nd month free, and then I do get some free trials. I think with everything I put together, I think I get like 3 or 4 months free, which is great, and then I will start paying for it if I like it. But I really think that it'll just be really, really cheap because, so hold on, I'm going to sit down. This is the math I did to arrive that I needed 100 pages because they also have a 50 pages a month. I print every week. I'm going to need a weekly kit and a personal kit minimum. So that is 4 pieces of paper and then 2 more for the personal kit. So that's 6. And then I always print like extras, sometimes printables, all things like that. And a lot of times I mess up. So I'm allotting myself like 10 pages a week, and that is definitely going to be more than the 50 pages a month that the other plan comes with. 100 pages means that I get like just to do whatever I want, and I can always change the plan to the lesser plan of $2.99 a month, which again isn't terrible. Yeah, and then each additional page on this one is $1, and this one for every 20 pages I add more. So I think this will also help me feel more comfortable about possibly selling stickers again. Don't hold me to it, but one of the reasons I stopped selling is because my printer quality was so terrible. I did not feel comfortable selling those stickers. So let me set these aside and see if I can show you the printer a little bit. So here's the top part of it. Let me lift it up. Ooh, it's still in its wrapper. Oh, you can see my tripod. This is what it looks like. It has a power button, a screen over here on the left. It's just got the logo. It's pretty simple. It's got a photo tray, and then scanner. I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna set it up where my current printer is, and I'm going to test print something. Well, it's gonna take me a while to set up, but then I'm gonna test print something, and we're gonna talk about like the differences, and you know what? Maybe I can spend some of this Christmas break opening my shop back up. Yeah, so let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you. All right, it's a little bit of a mess right here because I just rearranged things, but I have my printer situated. My old printer's down here. This thing's like 10 years old, and he's being retired. I'm gonna still keep it around just in case, you know, can't let it go. So here's my printer. In case you were wondering how my setup looks, I'll do like a full video eventually. Over there, in here are like shipping envelopes from back when I had a shop. Down here is now my old printer. I was gonna put paper down there, but I'll have to find a new place for it. Here we have my new printer, my silhouette, and up here we have my TV. I'm watching Parks and Recreation. Then over here I have my planner cart, and then moving into my filming setup, which is really dark because I have my light over here. So I put the ink in there, took everything off. I'm gonna set it up with my computer, load in some paper. I'm gonna grab both removable matte that I think I still have left over and my glossy and see what it looks like. Okay, so we are back to my filming setup. So just as a reminder of what my other stickers looked like, now this is on glossy, so you won't be able to compare for removable matte, but the design is very streaky and dull. Same with this, like, ignore the terrible cuts, but you know, like you can tell like the streaking pretty bad here. So let's start with let's do matte first. So the first thing to say about the removable matte is it actually printed. If you've been following my channel at all, you know that my removable matte paper has been arguing with me and my printer, and it just would eat it up and not print, and this printed beautifully. Like, this is a reason to go back to matte stickers. We've got that, and then I think the best example is those numbers. So here are the numbers here. Let's just zoom you in. Hi guys. So there, look at those 0s and 5s versus that. Like, this is the wrong color. It's supposed to be that gold color. So amazing. So I printed, oops, let me zoom back out. So this was page 1 and page 2 of my Savings Challenge stickers, page 3, and since there was no page 4, I just printed birthday numbers on these because I always need them, and why not? So let me show you this in glossy. This is where the colors are really amazing, and I know I'm not going to be able to really tell until I get a kit with like just amazing colors, but it looks great. So let's first compare these two in terms of colors. You can just tell this one is just more bold, but it still looks great on the matte. This is matte, this is glossy, and then let's compare. Sorry. Like, there's just no comparison in quality. So far I am loving this printer. It was really quick to set up. It was, let me zoom you back out a little. It was really quick to set up. It handles my paper really well, and the printing is fast. And then with this setup of my instant ink, it's gonna not be that expensive. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that up completely. I need to finish designing a new kit, and then I'm gonna print it, but I can't decide if I wanna do it on glossy or on matte, because it'd kind of be nice to end the year with removable matte. Guys, I wanted to give you a quick update on my HP Instant Ink, just life, I guess. I ran out of ink that came with the printer on December 21st. I'm a little concerned about that because I only printed like 30 pages before it says it was out of ink. Hopefully that just means the ink that came with the printer was just really low. And then this shipped, and it took 5 days to arrive here. But some of those days, one of those days was Christmas, so a 4-day wait on ink isn't like the best, especially because I have to wait until my printer is out of ink. But you know, I didn't need this desperately, I guess. My only thing would be I would like to be able to put like some setting into my account that says ship when my ink is like at 50%, not when it's at like 20% kind of stuff. So just an update, although it comes in this quick or nice little package, and I'm very glad that it's in something that fits in my mailbox, even though I have a tiny one, so I'm in an apartment complex. I just really hate when things that shouldn't come in like large packages and are just sitting on my front porch, because lots of people drive by and they could take it. Okay, so I just opened up my package. I probably should have shown that. So it first came with my two HP Instant Ink things, the tricolor and the black cartridge. It came with like an ink replacement, I think, instruction. Here's your new ink. Let me, hold on, open this. I should probably have grabbed my tripod. It's not in English. I think it's just more of like another advertisement for HP Instant Ink, which I think is a waste of paper because I have already been sold on it. Here is a, like yellowed in the corners, which is weird. Maybe that's intended, but print for free. It's basically a thing to invite other people. I have shared my referral link down below if you're interested. And then it's a thing that tells me to only replace my ink if it says it's out, which mine is very out. And then this, I was so happy to receive. This is something to send my old cartridges back to HP so that they can recycle them. Which HP, if you are, and anyone from that company listening, thank you. There's only one place near me that recycles ink cartridges, and you have to pay for it. I really appreciate this. Alright, so this is the home of my printer. This is my old printer, my new beautiful HP printer, my Silhouette cutting machine, and my Netflix. I'm watching some baking show. But I want to see if I can replace the ink with one hand. So I'm just going to pull this a little forward. Ooh, I didn't even think about if this will open right. Hold on. Okay, so I open them. Those are my cartridges, and they keep moving. What are they doing? Let me open up my new cartridges. Okay, so here are my ink cartridges. I appreciate the low amount of packaging. It could have less, but you know. Let me go ahead and remove this tags from these. So, let's see if I can remove this. I feel like that's supposed to go in more, isn't it? Oh, this makes me very happy. So the cartridges they gave me were setup cartridges, which my biggest concern was that it was like only took a few days, just taking this off, a few days for this to like run out of ink, but they only gave me like small cartridges. I should have read better. Okay, so those are in. Very excited. I'm going to grab some plain paper real quick. So loaded into my printer at all times is this heavy-duty sticker paper that I don't want to waste, which, by the way, this printer handles that sticker paper amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. You probably can't read this. It says, thank you for installing your HP Instant Ink cartridge. Don't forget to recycle your used cartridges. Nice. You can find info on how to recycle. Okay. Load plain white paper and tray, then touch OK to start alignment. Yeah, I thought it would have to do something like that. So let's see what the alignment page is going to... I'm really so far liking this printer a lot. Okay, so it has successfully printed it. So far, getting my new cartridge and like replacing it has been super easy. I'm gonna update back with you guys when this cartridge runs out. I'll tell you how many pages I went through and how long that was. So I use, let me show you my sticker paper. So I print on this removable sticker paper, which is heavy duty, and because I'm printing things with lots of color, it takes up a lot of ink. So I really want to see how long cartridges last. My concern is always going to be that my tricolor ink is going to run out incredibly fast, and they're going to keep shipping me new ones while my black ink isn't, because I don't use black as much. So I wish there was some way to like identify which of those had run out, or maybe they are running out at the same time. So hopefully it'll be a bit before I touch base with you guys again to update you on how it's doing. But so far, really, really, really loving my HP Envy Photo 6255. So I just got a weird notification. It's only been a day or two since they sent me my last ink. Where is it? Okay, maybe you can tell? Hold on, maybe you can tell. So like my cartridge levels are almost full. I just replaced the ink and they just sent me a replacement one. I don't know if they're supposed to do that. So I'm pretty excited about that. I always love having ink backup. Sorry, I pressed a button on the printer. So we'll see how long it takes for that ink to get here. Is today the 26th or the 27th? I'll put a thing with the date below. But yeah, they shipped that out. We'll see how fast it gets here. But it's nice. Okay, so the date that's showing up is a little wrong. It is that date, except for this didn't arrive today. So last I talked to you, I believe it was the 27th, and I got a notification that my new ink had shipped, and this arrived on that Friday, December 29th, which is really amazing. Like, that's 2-day shipping. That's what I get with Amazon, and that's great. So I'm going to quickly go through what's in here, because it's the exact same stuff as before. Another pamphlet that's still a waste of money. Refer a friend. In attention thing symbol only replaced when your printer is out of ink and mine is not. Another envelope to return old cartridges, and then 2 new cartridges. So I'm going to keep that all in there because I am not yet done with my current cartridges. I have printed a lot. I actually upgraded my service from having 100 pages a month to 300 pages a month, which is $10 a month. Because I am about at like 80 or 90 pages printed. I don't know if that's like abnormal for this month, but I can always change my plan. I'm not locked into anything. So yeah, that's really great. So I've got 300 pages and it's still right now free for me. I'm in the trial period until May was when I'd be charged for the first time. And while I sit here having dealt with this printer for a while, I wanted to talk about some pros and cons. I made myself a pros and cons for Instant Ink and a pros and cons for the printer itself. So let's start with the printer itself. I'm going to be talking about this from the perspective of someone who makes a lot of stickers. And so if you are an Etsy shop owner or looking to get into Etsy or looking to make your own stickers, hopefully this is helpful. The pros of it is it's a good quality printer. Let me show you. This is one of my upcoming monthly kits, and like the colors, here's a weekly that looks, the colors are vibrant. This is removable matte paper, but without feeling the paper itself, I would accept that this might be like a low quality glossy with how much it like eats that paper. It's just really good quality. It's an in-budget printer. I spent what, $89 on it, which in the world of printers is not that expensive. And it's compact. I don't know if it's just because my old printer was huge, but it has a lot of, it doesn't take up a lot of space on my shelving. It's a little heavy, but that could just be because I'm very weak. But I like that about it. And it's really easy to use. Not just easy to use in the sense of like setting it up, but like printing from it. I've had no issues with the wireless printing. I even installed an app on my phone. It's the HP app, which I usually don't install those kinds of apps, but like I can take pictures with my iPhone and then I can print them right from my phone to my printer. I have always loaded in photo paper, like a 4x6 photo things that came with it and some that I had left over. So like, let's say, here's a good example. My boyfriend and I went out for my birthday dinner. I took some really cute pictures of us looking nice, and when I got home, first thing I did was I quickly printed it and I put it right in a frame. I never develop my pictures. I always say I'm going to, but I've printed so many pictures and put them all over my apartment just because of this. And the pictures are great quality. Like, obviously not as good as like professional things because I took them on an iPhone and then printed them myself, but they're still great. So let's talk about the cons of the printer. The big con that I can think of is the fact that it's very slow. The printing, like, it's not a fast printer, but that's also because I'm using like a lot of rich colors and a lot of like intricate designs. When I'm just printing like black and white, it's really fast, or I'm printing like 1 or 2 color things, it's fast. But when I am printing my full color kits, it's a little slow. Next issue I've run into, it's kind of a page feed issue. So when the papers come out, so I'm gonna like diagram this. So the papers are being printed and like it comes up onto this page feed thing here. Because of how heavy my papers are, when the next paper comes, it pushes this one off. And if I'm not careful, it could create a paper jam. So if I'm mass printing, it's not gonna work because I have to like pay attention to my printer. Honestly, it's a pretty easy fix. The little slidey thing that comes out to collect papers, I would just need to push that in and like put something flat instead, because I wonder if it would just work if I didn't have anything there. I'll see, but it's the motion of going up a little bit, and that's something my old printer, when pages printed, it would come out flat. I hope that made sense to you. This is going to be a little extra. So let's say this is the printer, and this right here is the ramp outside the printer. So this thing prints, and then it comes and sits up here. And then the next thing prints, and it pushes this thing off. And if I'm not careful, this could push it so far down that it gets stuck in the printer. I hope that makes sense. Lastly, the only other issue I've had with it is something called ghosting. I'm trying to see if I have any great examples of it. Give me a second. Okay, so this is a pretty good example. I pulled this out of my trash can, so I'm not too weird. So these are some winter multicolor stickers that I tried to print for an order, but down here you can see there's like a shadow of the last things I printed, and it means that the cut lines were way off. I didn't even notice it happened until after I finished cutting. And it was driving me insane because it kept happening. I Googled, and the issue is usually caused by weird power issues going to your printer. So I like checked all the plugins and everything was fine, but I am kind of daisy chaining my printer, meaning I have like extension cords plugged into extension cords. So I unplugged all of that, and now I have just my printer directly to the outlet, and I don't have this issue anymore. So it does mean a little bit of a hassle and like making sure everything lines up, because my printer and setup is not near an outlet that's very convenient. So it was an issue. But if you're ever having this ghosting issue, that's what it's called, I found on, took me some Googling. It's usually power problems that cause it. If it's not power problems, sorry. So those are my pros and cons for the printer. Now while I'm here, let's talk about Instant Ink. So the pros are that it's cheaper. If you go with their biggest plan, which is 300 pages a month, I don't have my calculator with me, but that's 3,600 pages a year you can print. And I don't know about you, but I don't print that much. But you got 3,600 pages a year you get, right? That doesn't feel right. Anyway, and that's $10 a month. That means you're spending $120 a year. I just went and checked to see how much I spent on ink between January and November, which is when my old printer crapped out, of 2017, and I spent over $300. My printer just ate up ink, and the ink was so expensive because it's like $40 for good ink, and I ended up having to go with like knockoff ink that was making things terrible. So in the long run, this is going to be cheaper, and it also helps to budget. I know exactly how much I'm paying for ink every month, and it's nice to be able to budget that out, both as just a person and also somebody who is running an Etsy shop. It also makes it really easy to evaluate the true cost of every single paper that you are printing. Sometimes when you're using ink and you're like, an ink cartridge gets you between 300 to 500 things, so you try to divide it to see how much you should charge for your kits. With this, I know I spend $10 a month on 300 pages. I just divide that $10 by 300, and I get the individual cost of every single page I print, and with that, I know exactly, like down to the T, how much every single paper of sticker paper I am using costs me, and how much I should charge in order to like have a fair cost, which is like an amazing thing. With businesses, sometimes you have to really estimate, but that's great. And then there's the no hassle of Instant Ink. I was a little weirded out when I got sent this shipment so early when my printer wasn't out of ink. Like, I've printed now, I'm up to like 150 pages. The first 30 were on the original cartridge, and my black ink is not gone at all. I'm like 75% on my color ink. It'll be interesting to see what happens when one of those is low and one of them isn't. But anyway, it's really, really hassle-free. I don't pay for the ink or the shipping. I pay $10 a month. That's it. If I use... 300 pages, I'm not going to go through 10 cartridges, but if I go through 2 cartridges a month, it's still $10. If I go through none, it's $10. You basically get what I'm saying. So I really like that. So, you know, pros on Instant Ink, definitely cheaper, there's no hassle, and it's really easy to budget and evaluate my costs. Now let's talk about some cons. The big one that stuck out to me from the beginning is the use of black ink versus color ink. You know, my color ink could run out when I have lots of black ink. Are they going to send me both? Now that I think about it, if they're just going to send me like tons of black ink, I'm just probably going to need to get a drawer that I can throw those all in. I wonder how it'll affect when they send me things. You know, it detects that I still have my old cartridge in, so it doesn't send me new ones, or I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. And then the last one is I can't control when my ink is shipped. Maybe I know that I have a huge thing coming up and I know I'm going to run out of ink and I would like for extra ink to be there. There's not really an option for me to say I know I'll need ink there, like on a certain day. I don't know the reason behind it. They don't want me to order like 20 inks all at once and then, like, I don't know, go resell them. Although, I'm not sure if I could. Who knows? But honestly, those are the only ones I see. If you are not a big printer, this is probably not the program for you. Maybe their $3 plan, I think that's what it is, might be for you, but the $10 a month plan that I'm doing is not. I will include below my referral link for HP Instant Ink. I recommend it. Honestly, putting it out there, I do recommend it. It's been really nice not to really have to worry about the cost of printing. If you will. Like, I've been trying to figure out a lot of like things I want to print for my sticker shop and like testing things out, and I don't feel the need to worry about it. You know, I just keep track, like you can always keep track of what pages you're at and when your plan renews for the next month, and I just very much love it. I will update you if things go south. I'll make another video, but until then, I do recommend it. And if you are looking for a printer, I'm gonna put my stamp of approval on my printer. I will put all of those details down below. Other than that, thank you for joining me for this long and a little bit weird video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.